In a comeback that no one really saw coming, Sega's arcade Cosmic Smash series has made the jump to the modern age with a fully reworked and rebranded PSVR 2 title. C-Smash VRS will thrust players into a minimalistic world to play games of squash in virtual reality. Now on paper it might not sound like it's up to much, but delve into its mechanics and you'll discover a bare yet impressively entertaining package. Hello there everyone, this is Aidan from Push Square, and this week I was reviewing C-Smash VRS, and as I record right now, my muscles are aching from my brief run-in with professional digital squash playing. Anyway, let's delve into the review and see if this is a worthy addition to your PSVR 2 libraries. The game is simple. Loading into a small level with a paddle in hand, you're tasked with swiping a ball into various targets on the other side of a room. With the pull of the left analog stick, you'll move left and right, but everything else is down to you. Quite quickly, I forgot where I was as I tried to angle the paddle just right to hit that pesky target in the top left corner. It's immediately apparent how well designed C-Smash VRS is for the PSVR 2. The Sense controllers feel finely tuned to the whole experience, where the slightest angle of my wrist would impact where the ball would fly off to. Now granted, it takes a little bit to get used to, especially since I'm not quite a squash connoisseur in real life, but once you get it down, it does feel fantastic to play. It's another great example of Sony's tech fading into the background, allowing the game itself to shine. The game will gradually introduce smaller targets and blocks, which make the angle of your strikes all the more important. And with a time limit on most levels, there was an element of pressure there that kept me coming back. Now, I never experienced super hot or Beat Saber levels of intensity, but C-Smash doesn't really reach for that either. It's a far more chilled out experience than I had anticipated, but a welcome one that allows you to just enjoy the simplicity of its design. One thing that did hamper my chilled out time with C-Smash though was space. So if you are a veteran PSVR 2 player, then you know that you can get away with the smaller than recommended space with most games. Not C-Smash VRS though, which eats up all of that minimum 2x2 meter room and then some. Now I was barely 20 minutes into the game before I'd smashed my hands off of walls and ceilings on multiple occasions. I moved into a spacier living room with all the furniture stuffed to the side, which certainly helped, but unless you have pretty high ceilings, I suspect that you'll get a couple of bruised fingers or knuckles during your time with this game. Now for a bit of clarification, I don't necessarily mean that you're going to be moving around that full space, but the game encourages you to go for those high shots, and as someone is a little bit taller, I'm 6'4", I had an issue here, so it might not be a problem for everyone, but it's worth pointing out. In part though, I do see this as a compliment to developer Wolf and Wood Interactive, as more often than not, the game would suck me into the point that I forgot about my surroundings. It certainly didn't help that I was going hell for leather with an Andy Murray styled serving slam, but in those last couple of hours with C-Smash VRS, I had started to miss out on those reaching shots in fear of damaging the Sense controllers, the walls, or myself. The side punching walls there isn't actually a whole lot to C-Smash VRS. There's a challenge and Zen mode version of the solo campaign, which works you through various challenge types, and this is where the majority of my time with the game was spent. It helps you get to grips with the game's mechanics and fine-tune your squash game, but you'll stick around for the challenge modes. Not only will it task you to get better scores, it will also ask you to do them without failure. And this gives off pretty intense one more try energy as I try to perfect my performance. It's not as dense as I would have liked, but for those happy to swing away for a better score, the core experience is entertaining enough. Then comes the online component, which truthfully is what drew me to C-Smash in the first place. Playing a back and forth game of digital tennis in VR sounded just about as fun as it actually is. It's almost therapeutic as I played with friends discussing our week while we were trying to slam the ball into specific spots. With 4 modes to play around with, it was only ever good for short sessions, but mix its chilled out atmosphere into the equation, and I always had a good time. However, there are 2 big caveats to that. For one, if my internet decided to dip in quality somewhat, the matches suffered greatly. That's to say that the online experience is entirely internet speed dependent, which might be an obvious statement to make, but it does misalign the finely tuned aspects of its gameplay to an almost unplayable level. However, even without internet issues, you're left with a seemingly dead matchmaking system. Now, I tried a lot over the opening weekend to matchmake with other players to no success. There's a warm-up room to practice in while you're waiting, and I have just about as much gameplay time in that space as I do with the rest of the game. Regardless though, C-Smash VRS is a brilliantly restorative VR experience. With finely tuned motion controls, sparklingly simple visuals, and a chilled out electronic score, it's yet another fine addition to Sony's roster of VR titles. I can even see it becoming a go-to with friends if we just want to game and have a catch-up. Yet while the core experience is fun enough, its lack of content and currently empty matchmaking experience do leave it feeling like an unfulfilled promise, especially if you're playing solo. I would love to see an improvement to matchmaking and servers, but until then, C-Smash VRS will leave more of an impact on my battered walls and ceilings than it will on my memory. Thank you everyone for checking out this review of C-Smash VRS. If you enjoyed it, then why not hit that like button, and even better, subscribe to the channel for more PSVR 2 content like this. Now, I know this one is a little bit later than usual since the game is already out, so let me know how you've been getting on with the game down in the comments. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I have been Aaron, this has been Push Square, and I'll catch you in the next one.